I am the Vice President of Member Experience and Healthy Living, as well as Youth Sports for the YMCA of Greater Tulsa. And today I wanted to send you this video as an opportunity to welcome you to YMCA Youth Sports for our Fall 2018 season. You've registered at one of our many locations in the Tulsa metro area, whether that be in Owasso, Bixby, Broken Arrow, or in the Tulsa metro area. And as a part of that, I wanted to just give you a brief introduction to Y Sports, as there's parent meetings tomorrow night. However, it's not a requirement to attend parents' meetings. This video can serve as the opportunity to gain the information, same information you would gain tomorrow night at the parents' meeting. First and foremost, I want to make sure that you acknowledge in this email there's a few things. There is a link, and that link is to our change form. So our change form essentially this season will move to an online form. That online form will be a place where if your email needs to change for your information in regards to getting any of our fall youth sports information, it would go there. If you need to suggest another night of practice, suggest a new team, you would like to be a coach, that's where you're going to make that change, and then we're going to work through those changes on the next day of business and get back to you via phone call and email. So with that being said, your team rosters will be available Friday by 5. You'll receive an email from YMCA Tulsa from Y Game Time. Replying to that email, we'll get it in the appropriate person's hands. That is your sports director at that location that you signed up at. Y Game Time is a very intuitive site. When you signed up, you should have gotten, as well as attached to this email, is a list of the Y Game Time sites, and it's simply ygametime.com / and then the branch you signed up. So if it was at Tandy, it'd be / Tandy. If it was in Owasso, / Owasso, and so forth. That's where you're going to find all your information in regards to games as we get the game schedule prepared. What you'd also have is on this email is you'll have a sheet that will have some key dates, and I want to run through those key dates real fast as well. Registration clearly closed. We will open up late registration on Friday, so if you have any friends, first come, first serve, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, late registration will open. Parents meetings, again, are tomorrow. However, this video is to serve as that as well. It's not a requirement to come to parents meetings. If you're a first-time parent, everything in this video will be exactly what you need. Team rosters will be available Friday at 5. Coaches Clinic is next week at the Tandy Family YMCA on the 8th, and that is at 8 a.m. For the respective sports. So there'll be somebody doing a clinic on t-ball, somebody doing a clinic on soccer, volleyball, and basketball. You'll get an RSVP link for that next week, as well as players clinics. You'll also get an RSVP link next week where you can RSVP for those players clinics, and those clinics are 9-8 as well. Ages 3 to 6 from 10:30 to noon, ages 7 to 14 at 1 to 2:30. And all those will be held at the Tandy Family YMCA for our association as well. First week of practice is 9-4. If you have a Monday practice, you will not have Monday practice next week due to Labor Day. Practices start on Tuesday. With that, game schedules come out on the 10th. So on the 10th, you'll see your game schedule. That game schedule will include everything with that. Schedules, the home team, which will be the top team on your schedule, will wear white. As a part of our league, if you're an indoor sport like basketball or volleyball, the jersey is a black and white reversible with a number on the back. If you are an outdoor sport like t-ball or soccer, it's a blue and white jersey that's reversible with no number. Those jerseys can be picked up at any time at the front desk. They're $20 a jersey. You can pick those up at any front desk with the exception of the downtown YMCA. You can pick those up, and those jerseys essentially will give you the opportunity to make sure that your kid has what they need. You can pick those up all the way up to the first game. We've got plenty on hand. There's not going to be a point where we run out. If we run out, we have more at Tandy, and we'll basically disperse those out throughout the association. Your first games are played on 9/15. So 9/15 is the first time you have an opportunity to see your athlete. Not all games will happen at the location you signed up for based on the size of the league. Likely, some of those older age groups, you'll see folks travel. We'll make sure that that travel is equitable versus all games being at one location for all age groups, with the exception potentially of older age basketball because of the Hutcherson YMCA having the largest gym in the association. So you may see some of that older basketball only occur at the Hutcherson Y. But those game schedules coming out on 9/15 will be there. There's no games on fall break. So fall break, that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, practices are typically canceled as well, but there are no games on 10/20. Last week of regular season looks like right now 10/27. What we do run into in the fall is we do have some cold weather guidelines. Those cold weather guidelines you'll see here later in the season. We want to make sure that your child is, for those soccer and t-ball games, if October gets to us and it gets rough outside, we want to make sure that your kid is protected from the elements and protected from the weather. And then playoffs for ages 7 to 15 for basketball and soccer and volleyball will occur the week of 11-3. So again, our goal is to end the league by the week of 11-3. The last week of regular season games for ages 3 to 6 should be 10-27. If you're an athlete in volleyball, knee pads aren't required, but you may purchase those. Some parents choose to do that, some parents don't. T-ball, the only thing you need to necessarily have is a glove. The YMCA will provide tees, balls, and bats, as well as helmets. If you choose to do other things, that's up to you as well. Basketball, pretty much, if you choose to use a mouth guard or anything like that, that's up to you. And soccer, every athlete is required to have shin guards to play at the YMCA of Greater Tulsa, regardless of the age. So 3 to all the way to 12, shin guards are required. There's many places online as well as in town that you can get shin guards for those younger kids, but it is necessary that they have the shin guards. These important dates are in the email below. Again, like I said, you'll see that below. You're also going to see the rules for your age group. We're always looking for great coaches. If you want to coach at the Y and you say, hey, my kid's team doesn't have a coach, I want to coach, YMCA Greater Tulsa is an organization that is led by our volunteers. Our volunteer coaches create the experience. None of our coaches are paid staff members. We appreciate and applaud all those that volunteer for our organization, because without you, youth sports simply doesn't happen. Practices are once a week. The older age groups are going to practice an hour. The younger age groups are going to practice anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. Please, if you're in the outdoor sport, please make sure you bring water for your child. It's going to be hot in the early season, and making sure that you have water is an extreme appropriate need with that. The other items that you may need to know about is that, again, I'll kind of reassess the opportunity that if you have a schedule that you get on Friday and the schedule is not correct and you say, I can't practice on Mondays, I put that on my form, we apologize for that, working through all the changes and everything. Please go in and fill out that change form online at the link that's in this email. Go in, put in as much information as possible, and we will get back to you Tuesday morning with that change. I want to make sure we're as accommodating as possible. However, the reality of everything is that we can only be as accommodating as we can with the number of children we have in our league and as many places we're trying to play. When it comes to your first practice, if you are practicing at a location that's at one of our YMCAs, please acknowledge that our parking lots are parking in residential areas in people's front yards or people's grass. That wouldn't necessarily encourage that. At the same time, would love to see you be the best steward of our parking as you can and carpool when appropriate. For our first games, same thing. If you can carpool for our first games, that's the best sense. I know there's times where mom and dad may be coming from work and one of them has the kid. That's the nature of it. For games, if we can carpool, that'll help us out, as the YMCA is a very busy facility, whether it be for youth sports or it be for membership as well with that. So just look at those key dates. Those key dates are important. Everything I've said here is what you're going to get in the parents' meeting. For your first practice, show up. If you don't know where your practice is, stop at the front desk. Ask the front desk. Ask one of our YMCA of Greater Tulsa staff that'll have on a name badge like this, or they have on a red Y sports shirt. Ask that staff member so that staff member can get you in the right place at the right time as we start practices next Tuesday. If you have any questions for your sports staff at your location, you can simply email them. Lorraine Walker is the Tandy Sports Director, and you have Brandon Colbert at Hutcherson and Owasso and Tim Holscall at Dickinson and Daly. And you can find their emails on that Y Game Time site as well as in the email below should you need to make a direct email. However, the only way changes will occur is not through an email to them. The changes will actually happen through the link, the bit.ly link you see below with that. So please make changes there. Make sure you get a jersey by the first game. Make sure that on the schedule, when the schedules come out, the top team is white, which is the home team. And then just make sure you have whatever necessary equipment you need for that. Again, you're not necessarily bound to come to the parents' meeting. Everything you just heard is what will be discussed at the parent conversations on Thursday. If you have any questions, feel free to reach back out to that sports staff. Look at your key date email. Again, the sports philosophy that we have here at the YMCA Greater Tulsa is that we're going to focus on character development, skill development, and fun. And we want to make sure that the YMCA is that for everyone, including you as a parent, making sure that we look at and we value every individual that plays sports in our Y, as well as the parents in our YMCA, regardless of who they are, where they come from, their background, etc. We want to accept everyone at the Y, making sure that sportsmanship and character is at a high level. If you have any questions, reach out to your sports director. Thank you for choosing the YMCA of Greater Tulsa for your 2018 sports season. We look forward to being a first for each of you, and especially look forward to being a first for those 3- and 4-year-olds or 5- and 6-year-olds that are playing sports for their first time at the YMCA of Greater Tulsa, as we want to focus on making sure that these young men and young ladies have a fun 2018 fall season. Again, I'm Matt Hancock. I'm our Vice President of Member Experience Healthy Living and Youth Sports for the YMCA of Greater Tulsa, and thank you for having your child in our program, and have an awesome day.